So there was a point in my life, I think I was about 9 or 10, everyone. And when I tell you all that I didn't know what exactly this thing was, I didn't understand that that was a flat iron at the time. So this thing that's literally right next to me, getting hotter and hotter with all of that thermal energy, just ready to goddamn burn the fucking shit out of me, right? And I'm just like, all right, me being the careless child that I am, as most children are, I'm just not thinking much about it. Just woke up, getting ready for school, and Mon Dukes was trying to teach me how to iron clothes. I didn't want to learn how to iron no goddamn clothes. So, next thing I knew, was fucking flat iron, just right there. I attempted to grab it, right? However, in my attempt to grab it, I was not looking ahead of me because the actual real iron was behind me. I didn't know the difference between a flat iron and an iron at the time. I just thought that both of them helped iron your clothes, right? So I'm reaching back, try to grab the flat iron. The regular iron is behind me as well. I'm not paying no attention to what I'm doing or anything because I really don't care, right? So I grab the fucking iron, everybody. I grab it so hard, and I burned my skin. I'm like, oh shit, god damn it. Oh my gosh, and it was a pretty bad burn. Like it was pretty pink, you know, and I'm pretty, it was pink and or not pink, but it was just I guess pink red, whatever you want to call it, but it was just a little bit of skin, you know, that it showed. And I'm like, fuck, man, I'm fucked up. And obviously I'm young, so I didn't realize that the burn wasn't that bad, because I didn't cry when I was younger. That wasn't allowed when I was younger. But I didn't realize that that was just a regular old artificial burn, aka first degree burn, right? So boom. As I recall this story, I want you all to know that yes, Tilo's talks. This is a part of it. But with that being said, these burns are crazy because whilst the first degree burn is not that bad, right? It can definitely, there's different levels to it. You got obviously you got the first degree burn, like I just said, which is also called the superficial burn, and it only affects our outer layer of the skin. And I don't even know what the hell that even means, right? So I do research. I start learning about it, and I did learn a little bit about it. However, I never really took anatomy. I ain't we A lot of things that people learn. It all depends on the school, the teacher, the curriculum. It all depends on all of that stuff. I say all of this to say that I did eventually learn the layers of skin, and I've forgotten about it, right? So I get into another sticky situation where I'm trying to clean the shower while I'm in the shower because I noticed that there's fucking dirt in it. And I'm not a germaphobe, y'all, but there's some things like too dirty is definitely a real thing. So boom, I'm trying to clean it, but I'm not trying to touch it with my feet or my hands because I got soap all on me. I'm trying to get right. So I'm using the water. I'm trying to use the water. I turn and twist in the way in which I fucking slip. And I fall backwards and I bust my goddamn back on the fucking shower floor. It's the first time I ever fell in the shower, everybody. This was a very foreign concept to me. Also, if you hear any noise in the background, it's definitely my sister. So I don't know why she's making so much noise. Anyway, that was crazy, right? So I get up or whatever, and this was recent. This is a recent, you know, like at this point I'm not young anymore. Like this is a recent thing that has happened, like last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. So boom, I started talking to Postic about the layers of skin because I realized that I don't know my skin as well as I thought I did. How the fuck can I claim to know my skin and I don't even know what part of the skin I actually fucked up, right? Because I ended up noticing later on that day that I cut myself. I cut the shit out of myself too. I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to die. But it wasn't that bad because I later learned that I just barely scratched through the uh, the first layer of skin. Right? There are three layers of skin, but each of those three layers can be broken up into sub layers. You have the first or the outermost layer of skin, which is called the epidermis layer. And the epidermis layer, like I said, is the outermost layer of skin that we can, see this layer with our eyes. And it has no blood supply of its own. This is why you can peel off, certain parts of your skin and you won't bleed. And it's very, very interesting because if you cut a little too deep through this layer, you will definitely, go through the layer and cause the bleeding because the epidermis layer is actually not that great for real. And it also is the layer that has the most sub layers in it, right? It's divided between 4 to 5 different sub layers in certain areas of the body. So depending on the area, like your hand definitely have an epidermis on it, and your feet has the epidermis because you can actually peel off old skin and all of that from uh, your hands and your feet. Obviously, there's more areas, but those are just 2 examples off the top of my head. I didn't look too deep into this because I just wanted some general knowledge about these layers for the most part. So, with that being said, the epidermis, outermost layer. You got the dermis or the curium. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but I do have some notes here, y'all, because, like I said, I've recently learned this. So, gotta have the notes so I can accurately say what I need to say. But I'm also trying to put my own spin to it by telling y'all this story. But anyway, the dermis, since it is the second layer, you obviously know that it is underneath the epidermis, and it is also the most superficial layer of our skin. Oh, excuse me, pardon. Yeah, obviously, this one, it too is composed of sublayers. Only 2 sublayers though. You got the papillary layer, which is the upper layer and the most superficial part of the dermis. So the dermis itself is the most superficial layer of skin. However, the papillary layer, oh shit, because I'm trying to say it without looking at it, I don't even know how to fucking pronounce that shit. But the papillary layer is definitely the superficial part of the actual dermis. So, and then you got the reticular layer. Oh shit. I think that's how. Let me look at it. Yeah. So the reticular layer. Reticular layer, which is the lowest and deepest layer of the dermis. And last but not least, everyone, the third and final layer of skin, which is the hypodermis. You see, all of them got dermis in it, but it's also called 3 different things, or 2 different things. It's called 3 different things. I already gave y'all one thing. You got the hypodermis, you got the subcutaneous tissue, and then you also got the subcutis. The subcutis.
the subcutis. So those are the three different names you can give third layer of skin, right? So boom. This is obviously this is the last layer. This is the deepest layer of our skin, which
And as you already know, fat helps insulate our bodies from the cold, and it can act as a cushion for our internal structures, such as our muscles and organs and all of that stuff when we have some type of impact. So when I fell and bust my fucking back, I bust my back on the damn on the literal floor. I hit the shit out of it since I've been doing yoga and everything. Everyone is it's a lot easier on me, to absorb damage because I'm a lot more flexible now. Because I did used to have back problems, and it's crazy because a lot of people would be like, "Too young to have back problems, this and that." Tell my back that. What? Like, why the hell? Why are you trying to? Why are you trying to tell me that I'm too young to have back problem when it's my fucking back that is goddamn the one that's hurting? Like shit, I'm not the one making it hurt. Like it was. But anyway, don't want to rant. Uh, the, you know the hypodermis layer of the fucking the fat that is contained within the hypodermis definitely helped me absorb the impact as well with being flexible. So therefore, it cushioned my fall. Because if I haven't been strengthening my own back due to yoga, I probably would have had or sustained a greater injury because that was a pretty hard fall. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Luckily, I was able to keep myself from falling on my goddamn head. So why is it that I'm trying to teach y'all some fucking anatomy on my Tilo's talk? Well, if y'all haven't realized by now on Tilo's talks, I talk about a little bit of everything. And I feel as though learning the layers of skin is definitely an important thing that we should do for the simple fact that we think we know our own bodies, but we don't. A lot of people don't know what the hell the epidermis is. A lot of people don't know what the dermis is. A lot of people don't know what the hypodermis is, or the subcutaneous tissue, as you would call it. I'm not even looking at the notes anymore. I'm on the road right now. But I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I cracked myself up. I don't even know what I'm laughing at. I'm stupid. All right. Especially watching my own gameplays while I'm talking. These shit actually crack me up. I just be like, oh shit, I really think I'm good at this game, and I'm really ass. I'm really bad. Y'all can go watch my streams. I'm not good at this game at all. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people would disagree mainly because on my streams I be doing the killer. It's not like I don't be doing well, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, but now, like I said, the epidermis is divided into 4 to 5 different layers depending on the areas of the body, right? So you have the stratum corneum, which is the first layer of the fucking epidermis, and it's the first line of defense against the environment. It helps protects against bacteria and UV damage, which is ultraviolet damage. For those of you who don't know what UV is, so uh, so you know how when you're in a sauna and you start to sweat, your body is, sweating and all of that. It's very moist. So this layer of skin also helps with that exactly thing, that exact thing. It helps with understanding, I said understanding. It helps. Shit, man, I don't even know how to put this in my own words. I guess I can say it helps prevent. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. It helps prevent moisture from actually escaping the skin and keeps the skin hydrated. Because as y'all already know, dry skin is a real ass thing. There are some people who have a dry skin problem, and it could. I'm not a scientist, so take this part with a grain of salt. But it could be because the stratum corneum is actually not producing enough of whatever the hell it needs to produce, or maybe it's too weak, or who knows. There's a lot of different things, and I don't claim to know any of them. But what I am claiming to do is trying to open up y'all's minds so y'all can, figure these things out. We can have a conversation, an intellectual conversation. We don't have to talk about the newest iPhone that's coming out or all this negativity in the world. Let's talk about some more positive things, like the layers of skin, because we don't know. Anyway, second layer of the epidermis is the stratum lucidum, which is a pretty thin layer. It can only be seen in your hands and the bottom of your feet, or in pieces that are pieces around the body that's commonly damaged, but for the most part, hands and feet. And this layer basically helps. It basically just helps protect against friction, or withstand friction, I should say. And it's as simple as that. The stratum granulosa is the third part of the the third part, or the third sublayer of the epidermis, right? So it's basically like some umbrella or poncho, and that shit just helps waterproof the body. It helps because our bodies, as y'all already or at least should know, is made up of mostly water. What is water? H2O. So with that being said, it helps the body from losing that water. So you to best picture this, how when you're in, or when we were younger and you used to take baths, it seemed as though your fucking body would absorb water sometimes. And that's basically what this layer would help with. It would help with actually keeping the water in your damn body. So it also keeps your fat cells attached to each other. So that's also good. I'm doing his ass, y'all. I'm so toxic. It be shit like this that makes it seem like I'm good at this game. Oh, all right. Because I gotta get through this. I gotta get through this. I be trying not to stay uh boring, I guess you can say, because I know some people, they're very boring when I be listening to them talk about interesting things that I like. So gotta try to keep it as exciting as possible. Every so often, I gotta stop talking about the layers of skin. Otherwise, y'all will goddamn be like, oh man, fuck this shit. Shit's boring. It's not boring. This is your skin we're talking about. You think your skin is boring, but anyway, you got the next one, the fourth sublayer of the epidermis, which is the stratum spinosum, and this is the prickle cell layer. It is also part of the immune system and helps fight off foreign invaders, uh, germs. And if y'all didn't understand that, I'm not trying to insult anyone's intelligence here, but I think, yeah, that's really the, yeah, I gave y'all the most important parts of that layer. So next one, obviously, there's a couple of more things, but I'm just trying to give y'all the basis of everything. You got the fifth layer, the fifth and final layer of the epidermis, which is the stratum basal. I hope I actually pronounced that right. The stratum basal. It is obviously, since this is the final sublayer, you can logically deduce that this is also the deepest layer of the epidermis, and it can also be called the stratum germinativum. So yeah, if you can't find that word, then also know that it has two names. And this layer is where is where the cells are replenished through mitosis, right? It also produces our protein. Yeah. So no. That's not what this is saying. So this is saying, how do you even pronounce that? Keratinos, Karan. Yeah, I'm not gonna pronounce that. Just know that it produces some shit that produces keratin proteins and fats. So it produces our melanin melanin. I just slapped myself if y'all didn't know what that was. I don't know how to pronounce these words, man. Like I said, I don't claim to be an animologist or however you say or whatever the specific term for an someone who studies anatomy or whatever the hell y'all would call this. I'm pretty sure this is in the anatomy category since we're talking about the body, you know. But anyway, it would it whatever these sites are. Like when I say sites, I mean like CYTES. Like it produces some type of sites, and those sites in particularly, those are the sites for our melanin, and obviously the melanin is what gives us our pigmentation. So melanin is pretty important. If you have, I can't remember how it works though. I think if you have more melanin, you have a lighter pigmentation, less melanin, a darker pigmentation. I don't remember how it works. Like I said, I don't claim to know these things. And y'all are welcome to, to correct me if, I'm wrong on any of this stuff. But for the most part, I'm not wrong, man. The only things I don't know are the, like which actual melanin does what. But last but not least, because I don't think the hypodermis actually have a, um, a sublayer. I think that's the only one that has is just a layer all in its own. So I'm not gonna even have to talk about that one for real. But we are gonna talk about the two sub layers of the dermis, which is the papillary, the papillary layer, Yeah. See, I was trying to say it too fast and I was fucking up. That's what I get. And the papillary layer contains our capillaries, which brings nutrients to our skin and increases and or decreases blood flow. So that's very important, as y'all can already figure out or deduce, I should say. It also helps regulate our body temperatures because if y'all don't know, we have a natural internal heat about our bodies, and if we don't maintain that heat, like if it gets like too many degrees too high, too many degrees too low, that's how you get fevers and or chills. So if the papillary layer isn't working how it's supposed to, then you can deduce that that's not good. That's not good at all. But it also contains our sensory neurons, and this is also the layer of skin responsible for our fingerprints. So, if y'all ever wondered what the hell or how the hell fingerprints are, or why they are, or whatever, where they come from the papillary layer inside of the epidermis. Boom. It's that simple. And just imagine, like, for you nerds out there, and I don't take that as a derogatory term. I'm a fucking nerd. I love being a goddamn nerd. So I don't mean that in any harmful way. Take it how you will though, because that's exactly what y'all are gonna do anyway. But for you nerds out there that just want to you stunt on your friends or whatever, because I know because I don't like the word stunt, but my friends understand I'm not trying to flex on them. I'm just trying to show off some knowledge. Show off the knowledge, We don't have no knowledge these days. Get that knowledge in you. But anyway, I'm not a comedian. Don't laugh. But there you go. Now you know exactly where the fingerprints come from. The final layer of the dermis, the last one, which is the reticular layer, the deepest part of the dermis, and it is composed of the dense, or I should say, of dense, because the dense. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's more than just. Anyway, it is composed of dense connective tissues. It also contains hair follicles, sweat glands, and oil producing glands. So for those of you who are like me, I actually have a problem with or I used to have a problem because I noticed that I finally it's gone now. So I don't know if as I grew up, yeah, I fixed it, or it's because my lotions and certain daily things such as like I said, lotion and uh even certain hair care products I use. I've been actually looking at the ingredients for them because I don't want all that grease and shit on my face. My face was already producing way too much oil, and that could have been part of the reason on why. So with that being said, if your face produces a lot of oil, or if your face is naturally shiny or something like that, just know that that is due to the deepest layer of the dermis, which is the reticular layer, because it has those those things in it. I'm probably about to die here, aren't I? That sucks because I was doing his ass. He he just killed me. He fucking sucks. Oh man. And yeah, that's it. So once again, y'all, why am I all right? So that's everything for these layers, right? Why am I even telling y'all this? Why should I fucking care? Well, because when I cut myself, when I later found out I cut myself, like I said, I cut the dermis, and I cut through the epidermis into the dermis, and I was just barely at the papillary layer, and it's crazy because it wasn't a bad cut or anything, but it was enough for my finger to, like, if I put even the slightest bit of pressure on my finger, it would actually, oof, it would hurt, and not necessarily hurt, but sting, I guess would be the more appropriate thing to. It was interesting. Then I started thinking about a time in my life where our stove caught on fire. Caught on fucking fire. And that's going to be a completely different Tilo talk. I might actually do this Tilo's talk on Thursday because this is a very interesting thing to speak of because these are things that no one is thinking about on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? The stove caught on fucking fire. And we found out there was actually a type. Fuck, man. I'm not looking at the notes for fires that I have, but I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, it was a type K fire. You know what I'm saying? Or a class K. My apologies. A class K fire is fucking crazy, and I was curious, like, how do you actually know the difference between different fires? What do you use for different fires? And what do I need to learn to better prepare? And inevitably, the nerd in me literally start thinking about the types of burns, right? So that's when I was like, okay, I do remember getting a first degree burn once upon a time in my life. I do remember getting a second degree burn, aka a partial thickness burn in my life. And this involves both the epidermis layer of your skin and the lower layer of the skin, the dermis, the lower, you know what I'm saying? So second degree burn, you have it when you have blisters, right? That's one of the main things that y'all need to take away from this, the differentiate between first and second degree. First degree, you know, because your skin is red and dry or pink, however you want to describe it. To me, it's more like a pinkish reddish type of color, but it's a combination of both, I guess you could say. It's all because we all see colors differently. Obviously, what's pink to me it might be red to you. So either way it go, it's all about interpretation. So boom, you have them blisters, and you wouldn't necessarily need to go to a hospital. However, it would depend on the actual burn location and size, because some second degree burns actually can be very fatal. With that being said, now we're gonna get into the third degree burn because I was just like, all right, I gotta understand first degree, I understand second degree, and when people be like, oh, I got third degree burn, I don't know what the fuck that means, and so I'm curious. Me and Positive, we're doing research right now. He's teaching me these things while I'm taking notes on them. And these are the exact same notes that I'm actually teaching y'all from right now. And this is what learning is all about. This is what it should be about, in my opinion. It should be, us teaching each other. Like, there's a lot that I know y'all can teach me that I don't know. Third degree burn, full thickness burn. It destroys. You hear me? It destroys. I put this in all caps just so I can emphasize in vocal terms how crucial third degree actually is, because it destroys your dermis, and the dermis is the second layer of skin. So that basically goes into the goddamn, it goes into the subcutaneous tissue, aka the hypodermis. And you can tell uh whether or not it's a fucking third degree, because you'll see white, because you know, you ever got down cut so deep into yourself you can see your white meat. Well, with a burn, you'll be either, because it's a burn, obviously it's gonna be either white or it's gonna be super blackened. So you must go, like, this is you have no choice. If y'all ever get third degree burn, or know someone that gets third degree burn while y'all they're around you, y'all must take them to the hospital. Must, all caps. This is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't care if they don't like hospitals, none of that, because this is a serious thing. Because your tissue, your whole first and second layer has been completely demolished, and it can also go into your hypothermia. That's not good, y'all. It's not good at all. And finally, the fourth degree burn. I didn't even know there was fucking 4 degree burns. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was just 3. So Posticles taught me something. He taught me plenty of shit. He had actually taught me all of this. But that was crazy, because we were talking about the burns before we started talking about the layers of skin, because he kept talking about dermis, epidermis, blah blah blah. I'm like, hold on. Now I need to learn about the layers of skin, because I don't understand. I'm ignorant to this. There's nothing wrong with being ignorant. Ignorant just means you lack the knowledge. I lack the knowledge of that. I wanted to alleviate myself of my ignorance, and so I did. It's fourth degree burn. It has no actual nickname. That's how fucking powerful this burn is. It's fucking fourth degree. You're burnt to a goddamn crisp. It burns through both the layers of skin, goes through the underlying tissue, the deeper tissue, and it involves muscle and bone. You literally, this fucking burn is so detrimental to you. You literally wouldn't have any feeling in the area that you got burned in, because your nerves would have been destroyed, y'all. Do y'all understand? Evidently, y'all must go to a hospital if y'all have this type of burn. Look these burns up if y'all care to know more. Pictures of the fourth degree burn will literally have you wanting to fucking shit on yourself. Shit, if you ask me, I wanted to shit on myself when I saw this burn. This burn looks very, very crucial. It looks excruciatingly painful, and I actually almost, like I said, y'all, this burn is no joke. Like, I'm laughing at it because we have to be able to laugh at certain things. Like, it's a time and a place. It's not like anyone actually has fourth degree burn at this particular moment. No one in my household have it. I don't have it. There are people in the world who have it, yes, and I'm not laughing at them. I'm laughing at the whole thought that this burn, you're black as shit. You're literally a fucking crisp, and it's insane. So, like I said, snake skin helps heal the body faster. However, you'll most likely not regain your muscle, since it will be gone. And with that being said, everyone.